For SantaCruzBasketball.com, joined by Santa Cruz Warriors broadcaster Kevin Danna for a special birthday edition. Kevin, I understand it's your birthday, that you're spending it in Bakersfield. No other place you wanted to spend it, right? For a Santa Cruz Warriors game tipping off tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Happy birthday, Kevin.
Thanks, man. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I can't think of a better way to spend my birthday than honestly calling a D-League game. And I know for people who don't know me, that might sound like an exaggeration, but seriously, I am being extremely honest. There is an in and out here after the game, which I plan on hitting up, so I'm looking forward to that.
Great. Well, before we get to talking about the matchup tonight, let's just recap really quickly the loss against Reno on Friday. From where you sat broadcasting the game at the Reno Event Center, what did you see?
Well, quite frankly, you just can't give up 48 points in a quarter and expect to win a game. And, the defensive rebounding got a whole lot better in the second half. These guys fought tooth and nail down to the very last whistle. I mean, that could have easily been a 20, 25-point loss. And it's just a matter of the defense and rebounding. It was there for 24 minutes. It needs to be there for 48 minutes going forward.
Did you hear Coach Casey Hill during any practices that you've seen address that?
Yeah, certainly. And that's what he's been preaching before the Reno game and here, especially in Bakersfield. He wants guys to really get up on their man defensively, not let them make any easy passes, and get back on defense. There were a couple of times in that game against Reno where Reno, even after Santa Cruz made buckets, were able to beat everyone down the court and get an easy lay-in on the other end of the floor. So it has been an emphasis. It's not something Casey's ignoring by any stretch of the imagination.
We have a different Bakersfield team than the one we saw here that handed Santa Cruz its first loss. An all-assignment backcourt from the Atlanta Hawks, Dennis Schroeder and John Jenkins. What do the matchups look like tonight to try to contain those two?
Well, Dennis Schroeder is super quick.
Schroeder, James. Schroeder keeps it all the way to the rim, high off the window for the deuce.
I saw him in Summer League. This kid looks really good out there on the court. His shot will need a little bit of a work, but he's a great distributor, and he's known for his defense as well. And he's going to be a handful for a Santa Cruz backcourt. That's no question. And John Jenkins played against Santa Cruz last year in one of his 2 games in the D-League last year, and he had 22 points. He is a heck of a shooter. I mean, this guy is lights out from downtown. He's also shown an ability to get to the rim as well. So John Jenkins and Dennis Schroeder, that is a very dangerous backcourt. And it's a tough matchup for anybody in the D-League.
You're right about Dennis Schroeder. He was second in Vegas for Summer League with assists per game at 5.6. That's not an understatement to say that he is a good distributor. With the Curry and Jones matchups in those two, that's going to be something that we keep an eye on. Another guy we're going to keep an eye on is Brian Butch. He leads the league in rebounds per game. He had a game winner against L.A.
Nunnally inside to Butch. Had the mismatch and missed it. But a second opportunity is good. Brian Butch wins it for Bakersfield.
He's always a tough opponent when it comes to playing Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Brian Butch. He is just a tough customer, and he is very good in pick and pop situations. Loves to unleash top of the key threes, and he hits them with great success. His shooting percentage is way up from last year. Getting back to the old Brian Butch, this guy has had to fight through a lot of injuries. And another guy that Santa Cruz has to keep an eye on is Matt Koshwal. This guy went for 22 points and 18 rebounds against Santa Cruz the last time these two teams played on November 29th. This guy is very clever in the low post, has a lot of nice moves, and he's very strong as well. And it's good to have Dwayne Dedman back in town because he was a guy who wasn't there for the Bakersfield game the first time around.
Dwayne Dedman, a huge addition, literally and figuratively.
Curry across the timeline, lobs it for Dedman, and one! Oh my! Dwayne Dedman!
Every time he's been in a Santa Cruz uniform, both in the preseason and the regular season, in that one game he was assigned, he's posted a double-double. Talk about the impact that he has when it comes to facing off against Bakersfield, especially in that building. That's a traditionally tough building. This is a big game.
Yeah, the Dignity Health Event Center is the only place Santa Cruz hasn't won in which it's played more than one game. Santa Cruz 0-1 at Springfield, and then they haven't one in Erie and Canton, Delaware, because they haven't played there yet. It's going to be big to have a guy like Dwayne Dedman back. And yes, the offensive numbers are great, but it's about the altering shots and the block shots that he also provides you on the defensive end. And to just have another big down low, because Santa Cruz was a little small, with really just two true bigs with Hilton Armstrong and Kevin Kotzer. Dwayne Dedman at 7 foot 255. He can add a whole lot to this team. He's very versatile. He can step back and hit an 18 to 20 foot jumper, but he's going to be huge on the defensive end against Brian Butch and Matt Koshwal.
Well, great, Kevin. Thanks for the insight for not only this game, but Thursday's game. Santa Cruz stays in Bakersfield for 2 games, then to LA before we're back in the friendly confines of Kaiser Permanente Arena. So, Kevin, enjoy that in and out after the game, and hope we can have a birthday win for you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, and looking forward to this game tonight. It should be a really good one.